Salvete omnes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to your Quiz 1 review. There will be two main parts to the content of this quiz. Part 1 will be about the fair and productive classroom, and Part 2 will be pertaining to important terms and concepts contained in your graphic organizer addressing what is Latin. So first off, if you remember, we wrote down some EQs about the fair and productive classroom where you were exploring some ideas, writing them down, and discussing them in class. So that's what I also want you to be able to do on the quiz. I'm going to give you 3 short answer questions related to the fair and productive classroom. I want you to be able to articulate on paper, in complete sentences, what is a fair and productive classroom to you in your own words. So let me iterate that there is no one right answer for this. It was very open-ended, of course, but you definitely have to give me logical, rational answers. So you can't just put anything and get full credit. I will give the most credit for the most thorough and the most genuine and the most thought through answers. Okay, so be able to address who, what, how, why when it comes to a fair and productive classroom. There will be 3 sentences on that, 3 questions on that section with 2 to 3 sentence answers per question. Okay, on to the second half where we are going to be addressing 10 terms right now, the list you can see here, related to this graphic organizer, all right, and the main ideas I want you to get out of it. The way I'm going to format this is there's going to be a word bank in this part with text below it with blanks missing. Okay, you're going to use the word bank, of course, to fill in the words and the appropriate blanks based on what we talked about and what's in your graphic organizer. So the terms I need you to be able to apply are translate, Romans, Asia, Africa, Europe, derivative, root, culture, military, government, and Latin. So, with translate and Latin, Latin, of course, is our foreign language that we're studying. Okay, translate just means to take it from Latin and to find out, articulate what it says in English. That's all translate means. We're just figuring out what it says in English, right? Then I need you to know that, of course, the Romans were the ancient people that spoke Latin. Their civilization covered mostly Europe. You do need to know that. Mostly Europe and some parts of Asia and Africa. All right, so the Romans spoke the Latin language. Their civilization geographically covered most of Europe, Asia, and Africa. Okay, you need to know the word derivative. Derivative. This word refers to an English word which has a direct, explicit Latin root word. Okay, so those two things are important. The relationship between an English derivative and a Latin root word. Okay, derivative meaning the English word that comes from the Latin root word. All right. You also need to be able to apply the word culture when it comes to the idea that the Romans had a culture, we have a culture, and that the Roman culture is actually still very much alive and present to compare to our culture in the modern day. So just know that culture, through history, that's how we find this Roman influence in our modern American lives. When it comes under that umbrella, I want you to be able to point out 2 examples, military and government. So you'll see those terms, and I want you to apply them as examples of connections between the Romans and us. Okay, so military and government. Okay, so that covers all 10 terms. If you have any further questions, you may ask here in class if they're quick. If they're not quick or you're not sure if they're related, then you may certainly email me or see me outside of class. All right, thank you very much. Bona fortuna, discipuli, gratias.